Pregame.com.
All right, the best game from one of the best conferences on CBS Saturday afternoon. This is Brad Powers in the Pregame.com studios just off the Vegas Strip. We've got a nice rivalry game in the SEC East, Tennessee at Florida.
Overrated Tennessee, overrated Florida. Who do you like?
Well, that's why I'm not picking a side here. We're going under the total. That's right. We're going to take the total under 49.5. And number one factor for me is that's driving up the market just a little bit is that misleading final in the Michigan-Florida game that barely went over the total. Not one, not two, but three defensive touchdowns in that game. Barely put it over the total. When you look at the box score, you'd have seen only 28 combined first downs from those two teams. Florida couldn't move the ball whatsoever. Didn't even manage 200 yards of offense. And that misleading higher scoring game creates some value. That's why we're taking the under.
Thanks for bringing that up. I've been having a really good football season, but I had the under in the game, and a buddy of mine who I think of it as Schleprock, he's got a black cloud over his head. He texted me, "Oh, we're going to get this under with 2 minutes to play."
No, it looked good. Now, Florida, I'll set the scene here. Florida's back inside their own 10-yard line. They got Malik Zaire at quarterback, and he gets pressured. He gets hit, and the ball's rolling out. It's going to roll out of the end zone. A safety, you're good, Fez. No, 9 times out of 10 that rolls out of the end zone. It doesn't in this case. Somehow, some way, the Michigan player recovers it for a touchdown, and that 5-point difference is what caused the total to go over and not under.
Thanks for going over that in such detail. Let's move on. Florida last week had their game canceled because of Irma. How does that impact your handicap?
It's a negative. I mean, if you're coming off a dismal offensive performance, I want to play a Northern Colorado, a team I can roll up my offense, get some confidence, put up 40 points on the board. Well, that didn't happen, and we lost practice time. We need to get more practice time with this Florida offense. Didn't get that. Lost a couple practices because of Irma. Negative factor.
How about it being the first conference game here and being a big game? How does that impact it?
I love playing unders the first conference game of the season because a lot of times you get relatively higher scoring games in non-conference. You're running up scores against lesser competition, but then you face a meat and potatoes type of team, a team that you're used to. It's an important game. You're a little bit more conservative because it's the first conference game of the season. Love betting unders.
Yeah, and this is a wise guy secret. I really probably going to get some people upset by saying this, but a real good rule of thumb is oftentimes you see a team and they play a fairly low-scoring game against a decent opponent. Then they play the two cupcakes, and instead of the final score being 45, goes up to 55, goes up to 63, game 3, and like, oh, this team's trending upwards. We're going to keep seeing more scoring, and then bang, it free falls down to like 43 in that first big conference game. Your second key handicap.
Let's talk about key playmakers for both teams continuing to be out. Florida had 10 players suspended in that game against Michigan. Word is, as we're taping this on Wednesday, these players are going to continue to be suspended. And obviously, I'm worried about the starting running back and the top wide receiver. Their two best playmakers on offense going to be out again for this one. And Tennessee, their best wide receiver, gets injured in the opener against Georgia Tech. He's going to be out for a significant period of time. And even without all these players, I don't think all of this is being properly priced in the marketplace, hence the value.
Yeah, Florida could do nothing with those backups against Michigan. Let's talk about Tennessee. Very young quarterback going on the road for his first start here.
Yeah, Quentin Dormady is going to be making his first career road start. You could say the Atlanta game was kind of a neutral site, so he did all right there, but he's not facing Georgia Tech's defense. He's facing Florida's defense, who I think is going to be very motivated to avenge last year's streak-breaking loss to Tennessee. It broke a streak of 11 straight wins over Tennessee.
I think you got a winner here, boss. Let's make it official.
Yeah, let's make this official. Going under 49.5. What's creating value is a misleading Michigan-Florida final where we had not one, not two, but three defensive touchdowns that barely put that game over the total. Plus, we have top playmakers from both teams out for this game, and I don't think it's being properly priced in the marketplace. When you add all up, lower scoring game, Tennessee and Florida under the total. More videos at pregame.com.